Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a collection of different gatefold cards and styles that I made and just show you how to, they're all very simple to make and but beautiful. I just wanted to show you how to make them. So a standard gatefold card with a nice embossed background. A fold back gatefold card with card panels on the inside. A little bit different take on a fold back gatefold card with the 2 embossing folders. So it's just a little bit nicer and definitely a showstopper, mantelpiece pleaser. And then a fun sort of triple separation gatefold card. Really easy to do and a lot of fun. Let me show you how it's made. Okay, so let's get started. First, I took the 3D embossing folder. I can't remember which one this is. I used 4 different ones, but I think this is a daisy. But they're all from they're all Crafter's Companion 3D embossing folders, and I embossed them. I ran them through on Centura Pearl. So this is on the yellow, and then I'm gonna just use my Harmony opaque inks just to kind of put some color into it. And this is orange, and I'm just going to highlight these flowers a little bit. And I'm just using my finger dauber and really gently just rubbing it over the surface because I just want to pick up the raised areas. I don't want to have the whole thing be orange. I just want. So I'm going to start in the middle with a little bit darker ink and then kind of go work my way out with just a soft, soft touch. And I found that the opaque inks work really well on Centura Pearl. They take a little bit to dry, but it's not bad. They will dry and they just smooth right over it really nicely. So we're just going to get all of those flowers just highlighted. Okay, pretty happy with that. It's a really soft color, which is all I want. I don't want a dark orange. I want these to but I want them enough color so that they stand out from the background. So that looks pretty good. And I'm going to use Pine Tree and do the same thing on the foliage. Again, just a really soft touch. I'm just going to use something small so you can pick out that foliage. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're just trying to get a hint of color on there to pick up that embossing. I think I might even put a little bit of green right in the middle of the flowers, just to differentiate the orange. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we're going to set that to one side to dry, and then I'm going to bring in the other ones that I've done. So that's the first one. Here's another one that I did. It's on pink Centura Pearl. It's the Cherry Blossom, I think. And we're just going to do a standard gatefold card. I've matted and layered a piece that's going to go on the inside that's kind of coordinating. Actually, I thought those were flowers and not stars when I cut it. Now it's stars, but oh well. I'm basically going to put a white piece over the top with a stamped sentiment anyway, so it's not going to show too much. I just wanted a little bit of pattern on it, so it'll be fine. So I'll get that in there, but I'm not, as the way that I always do it, I'm not going to put my sentiment in. Now this is a 5x7 gatefold, so I cut a piece of card that's 10 by 7, score it 2.5 and 7.5, and that gives you a perfect gatefold. Now I've got my panel that's going to go on the front, but obviously that doesn't work very well because it doesn't open, so you got to cut it right down the middle. So I'll bring in. This card is 4 3/4. So I know I need, and these are 2.5-inch panels. So I want my panel to be just under 2.5. It's going to be, because I want it to be right in half. And you do your embossing and your matting and layering first. And look at that, I managed to get it right. And then I'm going to put my panels onto my gatefold just like that, right up against that edge, so that when it's closed, it looks like one. It looks like it's just one pretty picture. And this is a super fast and easy way to make a very beautiful card, because that embossing folder and then inking is super fast and easy. And then it's just a little bit of matting and layering and gluing it up. So there's one. So this is your most basic, standard gatefold card. Now the only thing is you want to make sure you get it lined up exactly right, so that when that card is closed, it looks like one panel. And so you've got a beautiful card that opens, and like I said, I'll put a big white sentiment in there so that those pink stars don't show up. If I put a white piece in here, most of that will be covered. But anyway, super pretty, very easy to do, basic gatefold card. Now let's move to our next thing. So I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to do essentially a similar thing, except I want to do a fold back gatefold like this. So it's going to be like this, but I don't have paper big enough. So what I do is I cut two that are 10 by 7. I score it 2.5 and 5, and 2.5 and 5, and then I just glue them together, and that gives you your fold back gatefold. And if you do it this way, you can also use a little bit lighter weight cardstock, because you're going to double it up. And just before you get that glue in there, line it up. And I set it down on the glass mat so that the bottom's even. And there we go. Now with that inside, I've got a piece that I matte and layered. And I went with yellow this time to match my other embossing folder. So I'll go ahead and matte and layer this. And again, I'm not going to put my sentiment in, but now on this one, because I've got these side panels, I matte and layered two pieces that are 2 1/4 inches wide. just to give those inside panels some decoration. Okay. And now I'm going to do essentially the same thing on the front. So we've got our card panel. And because I'm going to cut this in half, I want to get it nicely glued down so that there's no gaps after I cut it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to cut it at about 2 3/8, which should be right down the middle. Oh, that one's a little off, but I think it'll be okay. It's close enough. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other one. It's just a little bit fancier take, I guess, if you want to call it, on a gatefold, because you've got the fold back part of the gatefold. Okay. And that's the one that I just inked, and that ink is pretty much dry. So it doesn't take that long, but I find that the opaque pigment inks blend so smoothly on the Centura Pearl card. I really like it. So we'll just line that up. And now we've got a fold back gatefold, but with that beautiful embossing folder on the front. So there's our second one. Now we're going to go with a similar style, but we're going to do it slightly differently. So in this one, I've already made my fold back gatefold card, and I've got some matte and layered for the background. And I'll show you the embossing folder here in a minute. This one I used blue, and then I used Lagoon ink, but I did it twice. And on this one, I'm going to cut each of them in half. And you'll see why in just a minute. Hopefully I got it in exactly the same spot. I did. Perfect. Okay, so there's my two pieces. Now on this one, I'm going to put one here and here, and one there and there. So let's do that. So let's start with this side. And we're going to get it right up against that fold, but not over. Oops, not too low. That looks pretty good. Now this one, I'm going to put right on the other side of the fold, just like that. So it still folds, but when it's down, it makes a complete picture. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put the other side right over here and line it up with that one. Okay. Just like that. Now see, those line up almost perfectly. And then we're going to put this one on this side. And it just gives you a little bit different take on a fold back gatefold with the embossing folder. And you just do it twice. But it really adds to the card because when you display it, get it lined up. There we go. So again, it looks beautiful when it's sitting like that, but then when you open it, you have such a beautiful, where as compared to this one, where when you open it, you just have the other cardstock. So I really like that style like that. It makes it kind of a showstopper, because if you were setting it on a mantle, you know, to display like that, you get you get the embossing folder on both sides, which is just beautiful. Okay, and I've got one more to do. It's another fold back gatefold. And let me go ahead and put my mat and layer in. And this one, I didn't do the side panel cardstock. I just left them white. You could put the side panels of cardstock in there if you wanted to, but so now I haven't matted, not going to mat and layer this yet because I'm going to cut it into thirds. So these pieces are 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut this into 3 strips that are just under 2 1/4 inch a piece. So since there's a little bit of gap at the top, I'm going to start at the bottom because it's longer than that. So I'm going to go 2 inches. Then we'll go. I'm going to make the middle one just a little bit bigger. Oops. And then okay. Then we'll just throw that top piece away. So there's my embossing folder cut into thirds. Now I'm going to mat and layer these onto my little individual pieces. There's one. There's 2. Okay. Let's get our third one. And our third one. Okay, now we're going to take these, and I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put one. I'm going to put them basically on here like this. I'm going to line them up. But I'm going to glue this one just on this side, this one just on this side, and this one just on this side. Okay, so it's kind of... So about there. So it's going to go there. Looks pretty good. And this one I'm going to glue on the other side. Looks pretty good. And then this one I'm going to glue on the other side. So you alternate. There. You get a very, let me put this glue away now, and you get a really cool effect. Isn't that fun? A nice gatefold. Now, what you could do if you wanted to, you know, put colored cardstock on this side so it's not so stark. In hindsight, I probably would have done that, or maybe some craft card would have been better because the white's just very stark. But I love that it's kind of a surprise. It's not what you'd expect. So anyway, lots of different gatefold cards. So there's the sort of triple one. There's the gatefold with the 2 embossing folders. There's the fold back gatefold with the card panels, or just your standard gatefold card. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.